Okay, it's about noon, almost the end of March here, and I had the wrong idea from asking on the internet. If you pull the balance wheel on this 2.0 16 valve neon, I think it's just got one cam. If I pull that balance wheel to look in there to see the 6 flat spots that aren't even used, the crank sensor's in the rear, I guess. So that little bit that the balance wheel would, that little bit that the balance wheel flange would, it wouldn't leave you enough room there to look in there, so there's no use of taking that off. So I heard that the sensor's in the rear and it goes in through the block because the thing that it reads on the inside is inside the block. It's not on the outside like some of them on the front of the crankshaft by the timing gear or timing belt. So then I'm going to first do another way. The first gen casting numbers on the block that could be under the intake manifold might be these. 4668 and ending with AAAB AC, and then the 2000 is the first of 2000 is the first of the second gen, but they kept using this block and didn't change over the crankshaft and put the 36 teeth on it until I looked it up in a parts book. It came out in 2003, so possibly even if this is a later engine of the second generation, I could still use it if it's a 2000, 2001, or a 2002, according to the parts book. So now I gotta find the crank sensor and take that off and look inside there with something. That cylinder probe I use that has the camera that comes out and has a little screen, or to go by the casting code to look for this 4668 number. So let's get to it. Well, I was upset when I come back 2 or 3 years ago, maybe even 4 years ago now, and I put it in the back of this old Dodge pickup that I use for a trailer. See, it has a hitch on the front. So there it sits. I do know it's got the aluminum honeycomb oil pan, and you'll see it's red there. I cleaned that all off so I could get any numbers there, but I'm not sure those are even the correct numbers. I'm gonna blow that off. Seems like a squirrel or something ate something there. I'm gonna blow that off and I'll be back with you. Okay, get this blown off here so I can read some of these numbers. I better shut the camera off and get it out of the dirt. Well, I've got my camera, I think. For looking in cylinders, only this time, for the first time I didn't look in the cylinder. I want to look behind these hoses here. Because this isn't the number here. That says O, then a rivet, and then 07, a rivet, and O. So
I think that is it.
0070. So somebody would say, well, that must be 0 day, which there is no 0 day, and it must be the 7th month of 2000.
So it's a replacement engine.
And up there it says D. I'm cutting in here to say, yes, that's the correct date. It's a replacement engine. The replacement engines must just put 0 for the month.
when they're
So
casting.
it is a 2000. And it also means that motor will work in my Neon if it's a 2000. So that's the good part. I didn't know what the 0 meant, so I just thought it couldn't possibly be a birthday for the block. But I checked the other Neon, and that has the birthdays right there by where the starter is. So, I found the matching one. I could show you. We'll walk over there. I can't look at this one. I got the hood up because I'm putting a new battery in it this morning. It was 10 years old and it's not working. Even though it says it's it charges the 12.5 on the charger, but it won't start it. So we're getting a new battery. It's 10 years old. It has to be the battery. I don't know why it would show that it's a good battery, but it doesn't turn it over at all. So we'll go over to the 95 Neon. This one, the only reason I can even show you is because I got the front of the engine tore off, because the starter would have been covered up by this stuff here. So let's see if I can zoom in. You'll see that just like a tractor engine, they got the data on there. So that other 0 does mean it wasn't made during the production of 2000. It was somebody bought it after. It's an engine replacement. So that's not it. Oh yeah, there it is. February 28th. No, 26th. Isn't the 28th leap year, or is that 29th? I think it's 26th.
No, it's 28.
It doesn't matter. No, it's February 28th, 1995. The only thing that matters is the 95. And there's those fake rivet screw things, and there's that clock thing or whatever. So that's a 2000 engine, and it should work then. It should still have the cam thing that has 6 lobes instead of 30 some. So that engine could go in here, but I want to spend $300 or $400 putting new parts on it while it's sitting on the back of that trailer. So that, I mean, look at what you got to do to put a timing belt on. It's over there in that mess. That one's sitting on a trailer, nothing there. Might not need one, but it's going to get one. But right now we're just spending, I'm sure that battery on the Neon with the hood up over there is, she'll come back and probably say it was $200. And this muffler stuff here, believe it or not, was $140. I didn't need this 2 1/4. This end is expanded, but I didn't need this one. But I had no 2 1/4 to go under the truck and slide to use for to see if I bent up the other pipe. I had to get a couple of these that I wouldn't have had to have, because look, this is 2 1/4 on the old one. This is 2 1/4 on the old one. This is 2 1/4, but this end, O'Reilly's got me a 2 1/2. And I don't know why they did that. We give them the year of the truck. We even brought this one in. I'll tell you what happened with this one in a little bit here. This one got blown apart. It's been blown apart 3 times. It's a different one every time, but I never had to pay $140. They were about $50 or $60. So,
Inflation.
so as you can see on here, this was like a silver salute would blow up a mailbox. These are just folded. See,
I rolled it back up and
these
tacked it.
seams, right here. This is just somehow folded and some machine does it. It's not welded.
Crimped.
But to put this back together without buying one, I'd have to weld it. And then if I don't fix the problem where it keeps blowing up mufflers, because the gas pools inside the muffler when it's not running right. And then when you get a backfire, it blows it apart. And then, of course, every time it does that, the brain box is bad. So I put on 3 brain boxes and 3 mufflers and some coil wires. Then I started thinking, since this is the 3rd time now, and that's not normal that the coil wire burnt out. I think I at least burned two out for sure, if not 3. Over the last, I've had it, I imagine I've had this 20 years, but I don't use it that much. I've probably only driven 5,000 or 10,000 miles with it. So on that 10,000 miles, I went through 3 brain boxes, 3 mufflers, and a couple coil wires. So what's going on? I mean, if this is the 3rd time, so it's not that I'm getting faulty brain boxes. Something's burning them out. So I'm thinking, since this engine on my 77 Ford F-150, and that's what these go on, since the engine's been out at least twice, it's on 300 and almost 400,000 miles. It's been rebuilt 3 times. The tranny I know of the tranny being rebuilt at least once, because I bought it right after the last rebuild. That's how I got it for $750, because he was having problems with the starter. He wouldn't have just rebuilt the transmission for $1,000 and then sold it for $750. But the 77 Ford F-150 has a mid-year part change, and it was the starter. And the later one won't work on the newer 77, and so when he went and got a new starter, he must have got the late one. Depending which my truck is, he's got the late one when he needed an early one, let's just say, and then the starter would go out right away and sound bad. It started a few times, but then it would go out. That's when he sold it. Then I bought a starter and put it on there, and then it did work for a while, and then it left me about 2 hours and a half from home. And then when I happened to fix it in Richland Center, Wisconsin, the part store there knew the reason. He told me there was where they changed the starter in the middle of the year. So we got my VIN number or whatever, and he figured out which one I need, and obviously it was opposite one I was bringing in, and then I had no more trouble with it. That's how I got the truck cheap, I figured, because it doesn't burn oil, and it just had a tranny rebuild, even though it's got 375,000 miles on it. And but then it's been blowing up mufflers, and it's so loud I won't even drive it now without earmuffs on or earplugs. I had earplugs on the last time it blew up, but it was still over the top loud. But anyway, the one I had a 2 1/4 and a 2 1/4 inlet and outlet. I didn't have to do it this extra money. So I've got this one. It's a 12-inch tailpipe extension, 2.5 ID. It's 2.5 plus 1/16, and that's what I cut off. Unfortunately, I cut off twice. So then I stuck that in there. Then I had to put this one on there. I suppose I covered it up with a clamp. No, it's 17522 by Nixon. It says it's an adapter by Nixon. So that brings it down to That brings it down so when I get it under the truck, look, it'll slide right in, over my, this is a 2 1/4. I wrote it right on there, 2 1/4. So my whole exhaust system is 2 1/4. So this adapter will go from this pipe that I cut off, that I showed you already. That's the one that I said was that was number 17647. 17647. And that one's in here hidden because I cut it off. It sticks out enough to put this one on, and then with that one on, like I said, I can slide right into my 2 1/4. So, and then this end should be a hair bigger than the 2 1/4, and it is. So I guess I'm ready to go under the truck. I'm just $140 out from that brain box blowing up. So what I should do before I even put this on, I should go change brain box and make sure it's running right again, so I don't blow this one up. And then I was saying, the reason that I think it's blowing up, I think my coil,
It's not.
it's either my coil is wrecking the brain boxes. How could a coil have a short? I don't know, but maybe it's just running too hot or something. I don't know. I think my coil is wrecking the brain box, so I'm going to try changing that. Or the ground strap. Since somebody's changed this engine, that's why I got talking about that the engine's been changed or taken out and put it in 2 or 3 times. The ground straps might not be hooked up, and then the return for the negative might be going a different path where it's not supposed to, and maybe that's wrecking the brain box. I don't have any idea why I'm going through 3 brain boxes and blowing out 3 mufflers, but it was one time when I didn't even know it was the brain box doing it, but I happened to break down in front of a mechanic's house, and I said I carry a spare brain box because I do that in the what are they, the 6th generation or whatever. I carry a brain box behind the seat. So we switched it, it started running normal. And so that mechanic figured that out for me, or else we kind of both did it together. So now I know every time it blows this muffler up, it's the brain box that went haywire, and it's not burning the fuel right, and that's putting it in the muffler and then blowing it up like a silver salute firecracker. So all this money down the drain just to replace this, and now I think I should switch brain boxes and see how it's running. And a year before I put the battery in there, they charged me like $225 for a new battery.
Last year.
So even though I go get a tractor maybe once every year with the trailer and the truck, or haul something with it, it costs me money to maintain this 77 Ford F-150. But okay, well I gotta get to work on changing the brain box and then see if it runs better, and then put this on, and then get the battery. I got it, the new battery that I bought last year for it. I got it in that Super C I've been working on. So the battery is sitting right there. I can grab it and put it back in the truck. Then when I go back to work on this, I still got some parts I bought for it that I can put on, but the weather got bad, so. All right, well, I'm gonna go and do that. Okay, gonna get under the truck here. I'll show you what we got. Ouch. I hate to hit my head on them. Look at that thing's pointed, that's what's going on. But I could do without those. I'll bend that around here in a few minutes, now that I found it. Okay, so I finally got that overlapped really good. That's right where the old one was. And there's that adapter thing I put where I'm going to have the wind clamps further up, I think. Well, it's either further up or on the ground, so I'll have 3 clamps on that side. And then I was still too long because I had to add 3 inches. I was still too long, so what I did is hammer on that hanger, and that did it. I got tightened it up with a 2 9/16. I'll put a double nut on that. That should be a lock nut, I suppose. And that part's still on the ground. I see where I was losing the brake fluid. I'd have to put some in every trip over there, driver's side, rear. Is this side, passenger side dry? Yeah, I think it is. So, my gas tank that I put in quite a few years ago. No corrosion on it yet, no rust, nothing. All right, well, that's my 140 I put into the muffler.
So
almost done.
When those blow
I'll
out,
get the air hose out here and I'll sink all these U-bolts with the air, with the impact wrench.
when those blow out, it
They're
unravels
still on the ground here, but
big time.
I'll lift it up and get those. Yeah, so that hanger here, there is. Right there, and it'll go up there to that. I just got to finish that. That's all. Back up on top. I've already ran it with the new brain box on it, so
Or module.
runs good again. Like I say, I got to look for my ground straps. Oh, here's the kind I use.
I had it behind the seat.
I think it's I put it behind the seat 5 or 6 years ago. So I got to look for ground straps on here to make sure that everything has a return to the battery. When I bought that new battery for the Neon this morning, they said, do this in the winter before you get 3 feet of snow on your hood. And it's ice shuts, you can't open it, and then you get a brick battery. It says, take this off. That's all you gotta do is take it off. You save yourself over $100 to $200. Just take it off. Because your radio wears down the battery, and you can't get the hood open. So this could be the coil that's bad.
It's not.
I mean, just because you have a working coil, I guess, doesn't mean it's good. That could be what's wrecking that. So, or some of the ground straps aren't back. And I'm pretty sure all my connections, I left my truck down where I was working with some scrap metal guys. Scrap metal guys are very dishonest, and what would this little piece of wire be worth that does the wires on the engine? Probably hardly nothing. They took it, so I had to splice in one from a junkyard. But this brain box thing was going on before I ever did that. So that's my 351M. Doesn't really say it anywhere, 351, but It is. All right, well, I gotta get the impact and tighten these nuts down on the exhaust so I can be done with it. Put the back hanger on. Okay, I did use my ohm meter and measured to see if I needed a coil ballast resistor. And when I had it running, it said I was just not putting it on. I still had it on ohms. All I had to do was put it on volts. And it read with it running. It read under 12. It was like 10.5. So I don't need this. And it was burning smoke off the exhaust, so I got some valve cover gaskets. And when I drove down there, the smoke disappeared, and it's just fine. Then, when I was doing the muffler, I said, there looked like a stain on the other wheel. Well, I took it all apart and checked it, and the stain's from the last time the brakes was out. But I did buy a wheel cylinder. O'Reilly's gave me a box that was already open. I don't know why. But as long as it would be the right one, I'll just keep it for a spare. So then I got down to the tractor junkyard and got back here with what I wanted to get. They were still there, even though I took so long to get the truck ready. So you could see how long. That's what the tube looks like. It's just a ratted mess. Thought I'd take the saw. I mean, I can't do this normal. It's just degraded and everything. The steel right there is even broke loose, but I got the serial number off the tractor frame. It says this is the second to the last month these were made. It's 144,000 something. So if they quit making in April, this is March. And I want the engine now because I think the last month or two that they made these, they had a better head on it. So I'm gonna see how much it'll charge me for the engine. It's still got the head on it, mine doesn't.
Or mine does, but they had the spark plugs out.
It says it's was 1236. Tractor.
One's the rim
That one over
size,
there
one's the actual size.
looks like it says Dunlap. Done something. But anyway,
Those are really
I
old.
got these are rare. Only on maybe the 1938 and 39 F-20s, so that'll save me from having to deal with welding spokes or welding those flat irons back to a new rim. So I'm gonna try sawing through this and get these off here. Tomorrow I want these loaded on the truck, and I want to pay the $75 to get rid of these at the landfill. So that's my progress on this job. The truck was real quiet, muffler worked good. The new brain box made it purr. So everything's good with that. Right. I had it real easy getting these bolts out, except you have to move these axle covers to get at the nut. That nut is behind these. It's behind these axle covers. There's just 3 bolts, 9/16, and somebody greased them. I kept thinking, geez, did some grease leak out of the rear end and get in there or something, but I think somebody just greased them before they put them on years ago. Must be like airtight or something. So, this was laying there. I don't know what it is. Might not even be for the f-20. So, I got the cast wheels I wanted, cast rears. And that's about all I got to say there. I'm going to get to work trying to put a respirator on. I know it's going to make a lot of smoke. I'm going to try to cut through that rubber.
I never used the saw. It broke just by pushing on it. And I was telling you about that muffler on the bench. That was blown
Yeah,
apart.
I put my respirator on and got the saw plugged in, and I pushed on this with my foot, and it broke right through. So let's just try to unwrap it.
Yeah, that muffler, I tacked it back together. It was all blown apart. And then I decided if I tacked it, maybe it wouldn't have a release spot the next time it blew up. So I quit welding it.
I guess the wire's still hooked in the bottom, so I'm not going to be able to. Still going to be a pain in the butt. A lot of wire to cut doing it that way, as you can see.
A lot of little wires.
It's a lot of strands, but I got through it. I got the chisel gun out, and I got the die grinder out, and I got the bead breaker and broke through some with that. Let me see if I can unwrap this thing now. I don't have to worry about the bead in here because the tire's completely broken away there. Big mouse nest in there. Right there, big mouse nest. So I'm gonna go throw that mouse nest in the weeds and get that tire loaded up on the truck and go for the next one. That's all I'm gonna shoot at this. So take my word for it. I get these tires up in the truck, and then I'm gonna loosen all those bolts and take the rim off the wheel. But I'm gonna quit. So there they are, both stacked together. I can see this rim is possibly reusable. This one, I don't think so.
Junk.
Because that band thing, that's not this. This is the actual rim just rusting out. So this looks like that. You can still see paint. That one looks like that. Ugh. Anyway, I gotta load that tire up there. And I guess I'll, since this rim is shot, I'll pull all these bolts off and throw this rim in the iron pile. And this one, you know, I might not even have to take these off. I mean, if the rim's good, I can just mount the thing on the tractor.
But I do take them off.
But
Because I don't want split rims anymore.
get the visitor. Gonna see what I'm doing over here? Yeah, You're just looking for animals to chase. Okay, well, I'm gonna load this up and head in the house. Okay, so these aren't that cheap after I add up this 120 for the cast rears, 60 each is what he charged me. 55 in gas. I put in 12.5 gallons at $3.99 a gallon. And he threw in the rims in case any of them were any good. Well, one was good, one bad. It'll cost me $75 to get rid of them today. Those 12 fine thread bolts, those big bolts that hold them on with the nuts free, he threw that in. That's enough, so 125 each is what it comes out to. And that's just acting like I got one split rim free.
I don't want to use it.
Possibly I won't even use it because
Yep.
I could buy 2 normal rims that aren't split rim and then take all the mounting hardware off and weld them on. That's yet to be seen. And then, like I said, I still need 2 tubes, 2 tires, and 1 split rim or 2 brand new rims where I switch the hardware over. And if I don't get new rims, I still got to wire brush it and buy paint for the rim and the
I'm
maybe
going.
I'll paint the centers.
I'm going with some 38s.
Now I need a seat. This looks like the Easy Rider f-20 second generation. Got the long shock and stuff, but it's got the coil spring like a Farmall H. I used to think somebody just made these from a Farmall H. This is the first generation. See, there's the pipe thing you hook, and there's the safety 2 bolts. That's definitely an F-12 first generation
F-20.
Easy Rider seat. It's got the coil, not the wide one going up under the seat pan, but it's got one like you would have on a, well, you see it.
Like a,
These are on machines here and there, big thick things. I don't know where if they manufactured these special or if they found them from another machine and were buying them. Back in 1937 or 38, it probably was a $5 upgrade. And so that's why you don't see many. Nobody's going to upgrade back then. So this is what I'll be taking off and throwing away. All this outside stuff, I don't have it. And so, yes, if I could have somebody roll a piece of metal, I guess I could repair these someday. But so I'm taking all these bolts out right here, and then I should be able to bolt those on in the same spot. Oh, this number off the parts tractor, 144484. The last tractor was built on April 25th. So this is 144 or 146. So then mine falls from 142 to 146. It's got the page split, but
it's 146.
142 would be March. So that's the last month, April. So I see this is 146. So yeah, mine falls in the March. So if I bought that engine, it should be the March, the second to the last month that they produced F-20s. So that's if I get the engine. Well, that's enough for this video. May I run this off? Thanks for watching. Well, the reason I had to put that whole muffler on and that it blew up and was because these modules go bad.
Yeah, never
And
was
I
the
thought
coil.
That's why I was checking the coil. I thought the coil was giving it too much juice and wrecking it, but when it's running, it was under 12. It was at 10.5, so it's getting the resistance wire working. So the Motorcraft ones last 10 or 20 years. These last 5 years. So that's